Hello students, welcome again. In today's lecture, we want to discuss the definition of problem play. We will also discuss the origin and development of this type of drama in English literature, and we will also have a look at the main features or characteristics of this problem play. See, this problem play is also known as thesis play, or sometimes it is called discussion plays. Okay, it is a type of drama which emerged in the mid 19th century, that means during the Victorian era. During the 19th century, if you consider the first half of the 19th century, then we have closet play as an important type of drama. But if you come to the second half of the 19th century, then we have this problem plays which became popular. The first problem play, it is believed, was written by William Shakespeare during the 16th century, but then there was no other writer who popularized this type of drama. But if you come to the second half of the 19th century, then we have George Bernard Shaw, John Galsworthy, Henrik Ibsen, and so many others. Now, what is the definition of this problem play? Then listen, problem play is a type of drama which presents or discusses some very serious social or moral problems of that particular time. Okay, this drama raises a social, political, or any kind of very important issue, and it starts a discussion among the audience. Okay, so after watching this problem play, people start discussing these problems publicly in the society. So the main aim of the problem play is to raise a voice among the people. It is a voice to discuss some major social or moral issues which are not generally discussed by the people. Regarding the term problem play, you should remember this name of this critic, F.S. Bose. F.S. Bose, he in 1896, he has given this term problem play when he published his book Shakespeare and His Predecessors. This is the title of the book where we come across this term problem play for the first time in 1896. He has used this term problem play to discuss some of the most important of Shakespeare's plays like Troilus and Cressida, Measure for Measure, and all's well that ends well. So for the first time, you should remember the term was given by F.S. Bose. Okay, what are the important features of problem play? Then number one, you should remember that this problem play actually emerges out of one literary movement called realism, which was existing in the first half of the 19th century. So, problem play is an offshoot of realism. Okay, so the roots of problem play lie in the literary movement of realism. Most important thing to notice about this problem play is that it has realistic settings, realistic places and time, realistic characters, and real social problems have been projected in such drama. Moreover, about the major themes of this problem play, most of the times the dramatists talk about the taboos or the taboo topic which is not otherwise discussed in the society. Okay, the taboo topics like free love outside marriage, or the subordination of women, or the class conflict, the conflict between the black and the white people. Okay, venereal diseases which are caused by sexual intercourse, and the hypocritical lives of the rich people. So these are some of the topics which generally people do not discuss in public. Okay, but these problem plays, they discuss these taboo topics publicly. The protagonist in the problem play faces some contemporary issue, and at the end of the play, some very strong resolution to this problem is presented by the dramatist. But the solution which is presented, it generally goes against the social and moral standards of the country, of the society. Sometimes, we people do not accept the changes because we live in a traditional culture, and these drama problem plays, they go against your established norms. Okay, the protagonist becomes the mouthpiece of the dramatist in problem play, and he raises the voice against the traditional ideas of the society. And the last point is that it is mostly a controversial play. Why? It starts a debate among the people, because it addresses some very taboo topics, taboo issues. Okay, and it offers some challenging solutions to the problems, and that's why most of the times, the problem plays are controversial plays. If you talk about the origin and development of the problem play in English literature, there are 5 different stages. Stage number 1 is that of realism. I told you earlier in the beginning of this video that problem play is an offshoot of realism. Okay, there were some Victorian novelists like Charles Dickinson, Thomas Hardy, Emily Zola. These people, George Eliot, they were writing realistic novels, and from these novelists, there were some dramatists who took inspiration and they started writing the problem plays. That was the stage number 1. Stage number 2, the roots of this problem play actually can be traced in the mid 19th century French dramatists like Alexander Dumas and Eugene Brooks. Okay, these two French dramatists, they wrote problem plays in those times in French literature. But if you talk about English literature, then you should remember this name, Henrik Ibsen. He is considered the most outstanding dramatist of English literature as far as writing of problem play is concerned. Henrik Ibsen wrote A Doll's House and published it in 1879. But this play was not, allowed to be performed on the stage by the government authorities. Why? Because it was much controversial. In the same manner, when Ibsen wrote Ghosts in 1881, that was also banned for some period of time by the government. Why? Because problem plays generally presents the problems which people do not like to discuss publicly. In the same manner, stage number 4, you should remember the name George Bernard Shaw. Okay, in England, George Bernard Shaw is considered the major contributor in this problem play. He wrote Widower's House, Candida, Mrs. Warren's Profession, Major Barbara, The Doctor's Dilemma, Man and Superman. These are the much popular problem plays written by G.B. Shaw. And the last stage is the 5th stage, which we come across during the 20th century, the first half of the 20th century, where we should remember John Galsworthy, who addressed some very controversial issues of the 20th century British society in his plays The Silver Box, Strife, Justice, Loyalties, and The Roof, and so many others. All in all, let me conclude by saying that problem play is also known as thesis play, it is also known as discussion play, and it projects one very serious problem of the society which people generally do not like to discuss publicly, but the dramatist shows the courage to present that problem on the stage publicly, and also it provides a solution to this problem. But most of the times this solution is controversial and debatable, and that's why sometimes these plays were banned by some of the governments in some countries. All in all, you should remember the names John Galsworthy, G.B. Shaw, Henrik Ibsen, and all these people who popularized the problem play in English literature.